I'm Kayla.
I'm Anna. This is Laughs and Legacies. Hey, welcome back to Laughs and Legacies. This week we have best and worst birthday stories.
Even though most of them are more on the good side.
They really are. They're legendary. My most memorable birthday was 2 summers ago when I turned 22. Now, all of my birthdays have been low-key because I have a summer birthday. So if I was in town, none of my friends were. So I'd hang out with like 1 or 2 friends and go do something fun. But most of them I was out of town, family vacations, family reunions, summer camps. So
I always felt bad for her. She always was like, why? I want to be home with my friends.
But then no one was home anyways. It was just not... Yeah, anyways. But my mom did do something really nice all the time. She would take me out to a birthday lunch in the middle of the school year. My half birthday, December 17th. So she would come and take me out because she would take out all of my other siblings because they had school year birthdays. And that was very special and fun. People would be like, why are you leaving class? I'm like, oh, I'm going to go out for my birthday lunch. They're like, it's your birthday? I'm like, no, it's in June.
That would be so confusing.
Yeah. I was like, it's my half birthday.
Oh.
They're like, weird. I'm like, yeah. My 22nd birthday was so memorable.
I'm still just laughing about it. Really, that would be so weird. I'd be like, okay, bye.
You know that's Landon's birthday? It's my cousin's birthday, too.
Oh, December 17th?
Yeah, so sometimes my mom would go pick up my cousin, too.
Oh, that's fun. I didn't know that.
Yeah. My 22nd birthday was so memorable because I had a new huge group of friends. And I have never had a group of friends like this in my life. It was so meaningful. And I'm very good friends with them today still. I love them so much. At the time, I hardly knew them, and they planned the entire night for me. We all went and met up and did...
roller skating?
Thank you. Roller skating. They went to the DJ. They're like, okay, you gotta play this song. And they played 22 by Taylor Swift. It was so sweet.
Hey, if you don't play 22 on your 22nd birthday, did you really turn 22? You didn't.
I remember going to a summer camp, and I was like 14, but there was a counselor, and it was her birthday, and they were announcing it, and they played her that song, and I was like, oh my goodness, this girl's so old, 22.
So sad.
Oh,
and now we're old because we're well over 22.
Yeah.
I guess not well over, but...
I know, it's only been like a year for me.
For you.
Yeah.
I'm almost 26, dude.
Yeah, she's old.
I know. I feel old.
So that night on my 22nd birthday, afterwards we went to a park. They had brought pizza and games, and a ton of other people showed up too. It was awesome. I loved it so much. We got kicked out by the security guard, went back to my place, and had just a wonderful, memorable night. And it was very meaningful because I felt like these people hardly knew me, and they made me feel so special and loved. So
I love
cool.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, good friends always make those kind of memories way better. And that kind of brings me to mine. The most memorable thing was when I was on my mission. That same kind of thing, you only meet these people for a short amount of time, and you change all the time who you're with. And I served in Peru. Arequipa was the most south mission of Peru. And in all of South America, not just Peru, they have a tradition that's a little interesting. On your birthday, actually, I'm not going to spoil it quite yet. On my birthday, I got all dressed up. I got all cute, right? But we also had like an event. So I was like, good, I'm going to look good anyway. So I got all dressed up, got all cute. We went to the event.
What was the event, by the way?
It was a baptism.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So there was a baptism going on, and so we went to that, and there were multiple sets of missionaries, so it wasn't just like me and my companion. They all came, and I think they purposely came for my birthday, but I'm not sure, because afterwards, when we were taking pictures, they all pulled out eggs, and they smash them on your head. So I had like 12 eggs smashed into my hair, just dripping all over my dress. I was like,
woo!
Nice. At least it's the end of the day, so like I can go home and shower. Except for I couldn't because in this area, you know, in like big cities, you hear how they'll shut off power in certain areas to preserve more energy. Same thing, but with water. So they shut off our water, and the people we were staying with, like that house, the owners were not there. They were out of town. So we couldn't ask them if they had any like reserved water. We weren't going to go search around their house and their private, you know, property. So we're like, so I ended up calling our leaders over us, and I said, hey, do you have, like, can I go to the sister's house, the other companion set? They live like less than 5 minutes from us. I said, hey, can I go over to their house and get washed? Because I have all these eggs in my hair. And they go, I know you have waters in your house. And I go, no, we don't. Why would I want to leave? Because there was I didn't mention this, there's a curfew for 9 p.m. So it was already past that curfew. And I was like, no, I really need to go shower. And they go, no, you can't. You put a bag on your head. And I go, are you serious? You're going to make me put a bag on my head to sleep all night long? And we don't even know if the water's going to be on in the morning either. So I really need to shower. They kept telling me no. And so I ended up just hanging up on them and calling.
You hung up on them?
Yeah.
Nice. I
ended up calling the assistant, so who was over them. They work like directly with the mission president. We weren't really supposed to call them unless it was like a high emergency.
Look, you had eggs in your hair.
I know.
That's disgusting.
But I was friends with them. I served with both of them before, so I was like, you know what? They're gonna be super cool. And so I called them and said, hey, please, I need to go shower. And they're like, let me call you back in like 2 seconds. So I hung up. I was like, why? And they called me back like, you have 30 minutes. I'm like, okay. So we like booked it over to the other girl's house, washed my hair, and booked it back. I'm like, cool, thanks. But yeah, that is a weird tradition. And luckily they didn't do it fully, because normally you do eggs and flour. So you have a legit cake in your hair. They did not do flour. I'm very grateful. But yeah, I don't think I'll ever forget that birthday. I thought it was really crazy.
At least they didn't do the cake thing where they smash your face into a cake.
They did, but
they did that to you?
They did.
Oh.
Yeah, that's also one of the traditions they do. They'll smash your face into a cake. The cake that they had got me, though, it wasn't like a soft frosting. It was more like a fondant thing, and so it didn't go anywhere. So they like pushed my face, and I was just like, okay, that actually hurt, but like it went nowhere.
You have no cake on your face, but just there's an indent of your face in the cake.
Yeah. It was a really good cake, though.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Did they use the eggs from your hair?
No, they did not.
Ew. Oh,
it was a different family that gave me the cake.
Oh, gotcha. That's a good
really
tradition.
Nice.
That's cute. I'm so glad people don't do that here. One of our submissions is called The Last Hurrah. I'm going to read it from their perspective. They said, I've never been one to celebrate my birthday, but this one was different. My friends and I had recently gone into paintball, and so that was the plan. This was my 12th birthday in 2008. When the entire economy was collapsing. My dad and his brothers had an office building that they had recently sold, and the new owners were going to completely renovate it. And they said we could do whatever we wanted inside the building.
What?
It's giving them so much freedom. We were basically told as 12-year-olds, here are your guns, your paintballs, go and do whatever you want. A young man's dream.
That's still a dream. That would be so cool to do right now.
As soon as the party started, it was all out war. Complete chaos. Armageddon. It was every man for himself. I have never experienced such a level of intensity and focus. We had people hiding in rooms, running across the hallways with DIY shields, peeking around the corners to shoot, and a level of screaming I haven't encountered since.
They obviously don't have kids, because that's a scream.
They were the kids. This was pure testosterone and the aggression in their highest forms. The battle went on for about half an hour before we called a truce. My cousin Brendan had a great idea to finish off the fight. He had one paintball and I had one paintball. We each got a clear shot at each other's butts. He went first, took out my right cheek. He specified the cheek. I went next and hit his lower back. Turns out I'm not a great shot. The party was one of the last times I celebrated my birthday, and we went out with a bang.
12 years old. That's the last time he celebrated his birthday. When's his birthday?
It's next week.
Wait, really?
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I didn't even say who this was. This is my boyfriend Nate's story.
Wait, you gotta go party.
Yeah,
you gotta celebrate his birthday. That is lame. 12 to however old he is now.
Maybe I should have planned a party. We're just gonna go kayaking at the lake and then go to dinner. Too. Yeah, I think it's a good idea. We could also plan a party.
I was like, just do both.
Well, the next day later, our family and him and I were gonna go to the rodeo somewhere.
Oh, that's right. I forgot that's coming up.
Rodeo?
I think so.
I don't know. We're going to a rodeo. He's never been to one, so this is exciting. I actually really like rodeos. He was like, "Do I need to dress up?" I was like, "We don't.
No, you should tell him he has to dress up, and he'll be the only one dressed up."
He would have to go buy stuff. He doesn't own anything like that. A boot, a hat. I don't even own boots or hats. Do you?
I have mom's old boots.
Oh yeah. See, I don't do that, and I don't even know what's going on 90% of the time. But the vibes are always good. I just love it.
It is really fun. I love it. So I was never a great shot with paintball either. We kind of went when we were younger too, but we didn't have guns. We had slingshots, and that was never good.
Yeah, I went with Dad and our older brother Andrew and a couple of his friends one time, and we went to this desert lot that's like right by our house. It's a neighborhood now, unfortunately, but it was so fun growing up because we'd go ride our bikes, we'd shoot airsoft guns, and we would go do the paintballs. And with the slingshots, one of the kids goes down and is like, "Hey guys, take a shot at me," and it was just like target practice for everybody. And I thought he was so cool for taking this, and like he was so strong. I was like, I can totally do that. That doesn't look like it hurts at all. I went down and my dad's like, "You sure?" I was like, "Yeah, shoot me." And I go down and I put my arms out. I'm like, "Hey, go."
You just like gave him an open shot.
Oh yeah, right in the chest. And I just like, no sound came out of me. I just fell to my knees and held my chest and was like,
"You got me."
Yeah, seriously. Up and shot. Up and shot. My dad comes down.
He's flying burrito.
But flying Mexican food.
Oh yeah, flying Mexican food. Dang it.
And he comes down and he gets me. He's like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "No." I'm like tearing up, crying. And he picks me up and he's just laughing. He thinks it's so funny. And I thought I was dying. It hurt so bad. I had the biggest welt on my chest.
You must have had a big welt.
I was like 12 or 14 or something, and I was thinking I was real brave and strong, but that hurt so bad. My dad was the one that shot me. He did not hold back.
I love that so much.
He's the kind of guy that's like, if you want to be target practice, you're going to be target practice. So
I was always such a big wuss to go join him. I did not want to get hit. But unlike this next story, people did want to get hit, apparently, because this was my cousin's birthday years ago when we were young boys, but his dream was to hit each other with lightsabers, as is every little boy's dream, apparently. Hey, it's my dream too. But who doesn't want to hit their friends with lightsabers? This was an obvious yes. I had shown up at his house with my green lightsaber, and I was expecting a few of my cousins and a couple of his friends. Come to find out, he had a lot more friends, and what I had thought, as little kids' eyes, you see a lot of people, 1,000 kids in a garage. Probably, realistically, it was about 50 people, maybe. But every single one of us had our own lightsaber.
Oh, yes. This is a recipe for chaos.
Seriously. There were no real rules. It was just a brawl between us all. The fight ended up starting when one kid decided he just couldn't control himself any longer, and he had to hit somebody. So it was just a domino effect after that. Lightsabers came out, and we were swinging for the fences. We're hitting each other anywhere we could and anywhere that was open. Some kid kids may have gotten hurt, but the amount of adrenaline that was rushing through our bodies kept the pain at bay until it ended. I may or may not have hit a few kids in the head, but I was in it to win it, so sue me. By the end, our fingers were all bruised and bloody, but the amount of hits they absorbed, by the amount of hits that were absorbed, but it didn't matter because the fight was so legendary. It might be time to recreate that battle.
Oh,
I love that so much. And I think we've mentioned enough times in a couple of our episodes that we love Star Wars. And I would be so down for this legendary fight. Count me in.
Your birthday's coming up too in January, so I'll make sure to get everyone lightsabers. You have to beat the crap out of each other.
I love that so much.
Dude, if I, like, found a group of, like, kids like that, like, brawling out, I would totally dress up as Anakin and go visit all the Padawans.
Why'd you have to choose, like, the darkest scene of the whole thing?
The Padawans, they're just going at it with the lightsabers. I'm sorry. Oh, man.
You're so dark, man.
Oh, those are so good. I want to do that even now with a lightsaber war with a bunch of my friends. That sounds legendary.
If you want to join, please let us know. We're gonna. I guess we're starting to.
Oh my gosh.
We're gonna set up a thing. We're gonna go have a lightsaber war.
It's like LARP. LARPing.
Yeah.
Did I ever tell you I joined a LARPing club?
No.
I joined a LARPing club in college. Between two of when I do all online now, but at one point I was doing in person, and I had an hour between two of my classes. So I was on my way to the last class of the day, and we had an hour to wait. I was walking with a classmate, and we see these guys wailing each other with staffs, and it was so entertaining. And I was rude. I was honestly just like kind of laughing and judging a little bit with my friend, and I was like, let's go talk to them. And she's like, no. I was like, oh yeah. And so we go, and I go up to them, I'm like, what are you guys doing? And just wailing each other. And they're like, yeah, this is like the LARPing club. This is this kind of staff. And they like started explaining things to me. I was like, this is so cool. I love this. And they just went on, and I was acting interested. They're like, do you want to join? I look at my friend. I'm like, oh yes. And I tell them, I was like, yeah, I'd love to join. I have an hour between this class on this day. And they're like, oh my gosh. And one of the guys just books it and runs away. I was like, what the freak is going on? What's up with that guy? And he's like, oh, he's going to go grab the sign-up sheet. And I was like, yeah, let's go. And so I signed up, and me and my friend joined a LARPing club.
I love it.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Unfortunately, I didn't ever take the opportunity to learn to fight or something. I was probably
Participate.
I was probably too embarrassed, but I watched them wail each other. What? I could have been a wizard, Ari. Oh yeah, I'm okay. But they were very entertaining. They were nice dudes. It was I loved it very much. Well worth it. I'm probably still like technically signed up in the club because I'm still a part of that school. But yeah, best college experience ever.
I love it. We're such nerds. I'm all for it. Let's just all beat the crap out of each other, apparently. Which reminds me that actually our next prompt is going to be car disasters and crashes. So I think we're going to have some more crazy stories about things getting beat up. Hopefully not people, but cars.
You guys, my friend Mia has the worst luck with cars, and she has quite some stories to
I'm
share
sure
with you.
half of our stories next week are going to be from Mia, so...
Oh, it's so good. Thank you guys so much for listening to this episode, and we'll catch you next week.
Have a good one.